Hey folks, it's Adam from Rescue Michigan. It's another one of these unplanned short videos, but I just watched the new documentary distributed by Breitbart, My Son Hunter, all about Joe and Hunter Biden and all of their various crimes and schemes and Hunter's drug abuse and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, it's late at night. Obviously, I'm not expecting any people to show up in the live chat at this hour. Although the last time I doing it at 2 a.m., I was surprised to find people were still up and watching it. But I thought, hey, what the hell? Because I felt like I should just get my thoughts downloaded right now. And I don't want to talk about this on Sunday's show. I just want to do a quick hit about what this movie is. I'm sure you've heard about it. Breitbart, of course, is aggressively promoting it. They are distributing it, and I paid the full $22 it cost to watch the movie, which last time I checked is a lot more than it costs to watch a movie at a movie theater. And I watched my Son Hunter. So just some quick thoughts. I do have a clip I will play. I obviously don't want to play a lot because copyright stuff, although I think, frankly, the fair use doctrine should cover all of these things. But, what the hell? We reviewed on this channel a bunch of election integrity related documentaries and things like that. And we were critical of some of them on some of the things that they presented. And there's also been, in the last couple of weeks, a lot of drama in the GOP and a lot of you're either with us or against us attitude. And, this movie, you think, okay, it's a Hunter Biden expose. So the proper position is this has to be a good movie, right? This is on our side. This is the untold Hunter Biden story. And I think that black and white thinking is not ever really a good thing. And I got to tell you, folks, if you haven't already seen the movie, it's not very good. There's just no other way to say it. Actually, no, there's a lot of ways to say it. This movie sucks. It was bad. It was bad in every way that a normal person would ordinarily judge a movie. And this movie was hyped up about they got a great director and they got a great cast of people. The lead actor was on Tucker Carlson earlier tonight and blah, blah, blah. That, and that all is well and good, but let me tell you about the movie, and I will play a clip in a little bit that I think illustrates kind of everything that goes wrong in this, but there's a lot of things to it. First of all, if you're making a movie, you have to make it good. You have to make it something the audience will like. And that means having to do things that a movie needs to do, like having a plot. This movie has almost no plot at all. It's literally, and this is the weird thing. It tries to be two things at the same time and fails at both. It tries to be kind of a documentary and also kind of a comedy. And as a result, it just fails at both because it's constantly pulling you in two different directions at once. Every single thing that a bad movie can do, this movie does. It's got constant title cards. It's got every character talking to the camera. Every character talks to the camera. The last line in the movie is a character talking at the camera. And they all do. And it's so weird. So like the basic story is Hunter Biden hooks up with this stripper / hooker and then confesses everything to her because she, I guess, her dad's a lawyer and she has experience in China, and that somehow gets him to just spill all his guts there. The premise is ridiculous. And there's ways this movie could have been good. If the movie had been a satire, because there were some comedic points in the movie. If the whole thing was a joke, a satire, a way of making fun of Joe and Hunter Biden, it would have been good. If it had been a serious movie and it was like trying genuinely to seriously portray how all of the Hunter Biden and Joe Biden family crimes took place, it could be interesting. And instead it was both, and it ended up being neither. The exposition in this movie. Let me play a clip. I'll play the clip now, and I'll just say This clip is an indication of everything else that happened in the movie. And again, fair use. Fair use. Don't try to copyright strike me, anybody. I will contest them because I'm not playing this clip to promote the movie. I'm playing it to criticize it. And that is the perfect definition of fair use. But here we go. So here is a clip from the movie, and here we go.
Look, here's the deal. I can remember getting paid some money, but I can't remember what for. I can't remember what we did with it.
Consulting.
Yeah, consulting.
Consulting.
So, Devin got caught for securities fraud. Zlochevsky got charged for money laundering. And Dolorevsky got caught for embezzling the $1.8 billion. And Hunter worked with all of them at Burisma. Then the Ukrainian Justice Department was going to investigate Burisma until guess who intervened?
Don't worry, Dad. You have plausible deniability for most things except the video.
What video?
The one when you said you'd get rid of the prosecutor who was investigating me.
Malarkey. That's a bologna sandwich.
I said, nah, I'm not going to her. We're not going to give you the $1 billion.
I looked at them and I said, I'm leaving here in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Son of a bitch. He got fired.
That's the time, that's the way how we play. I don't care on my shit.
All right, that's enough. Hopefully not too much. But that's like the entire movie in a nutshell. It's, on one hand, trying to cover a serious topic. On the other hand, trying to make jokes about it. Constant exposition, constant title cards, constant talking to the camera. I mean, look, I think I put this in the description. I can't even say if there's like spoilers in this review or not. There's nothing to spoil. It's like, if you're familiar with what the Joe Biden crime family is about, this is all old news to you. And it doesn't give you anything that's interesting. And to anyone who like doesn't know a whole lot about Joe Biden and the laptop and this and that, this is not going to be persuasive because it's just so heavy-handed in everything. I mean, for people who are like, you know, hardcore right-wingers, you'll catch references to like, here's the actor copying, you know, some Joe Biden mannerism, and you know, it just doesn't work as a movie. You know, a movie could be a comedy, it can be a tragedy. This tries to be both, but it does it with no plot. It's just like a recitation. It's like we said, okay, we're gonna pick up on these different Hunter Biden scandals and try to string them together and try to assemble some kind of coherent way that this makes sense, and it just does not work. You know, and the whole premise is so ridiculous. So the story is Hunter Biden picks up a hooker or stripper and this becomes a hooker or whatever, and so then he starts telling her he's in love with her for some reason, because, you know, Hunter, who's, you know, plowing through tons and tons and tons of these high class whores, somehow sees something special in this one. Turns out, you know, she went to college and is just doing this to pay her college loans and blah blah blah, and so he starts talking to her about everything, and it's just so contrived. It's so weird. I mean, Gina Carano's character, and this is, you know, she's like one of the, you know, top, you saw this in the clip. Literally all of her dialogue, she has no role in the movie. None. Her entire dialogue is talking to the audience. And it's so trite. It's so contrived. And the whole movie is like Hunter blabbing to the hooker about what's going on. And then sometimes they queue up. I mean, like literally everything that's in a corny movie, they do. Goofy ass names. I remember Roger Ebert used to have a rant about stupid movie names. They have a guy in the movie whose name is like Ivan Dolorevsky, who's the Ukrainian they're paying off or whatever. And then, and of course, this you know, this prostitute character, just I got some spam I gotta deal with. Let me make that go away. It's like where was I? Oh yeah, so this hooker, this character that Hunter Biden is confessing everything to, because that's realistic, isn't it? You know, a girl he just hooked up with, he starts telling all of his life's dirtiest secrets to, and starts talking about what's on the laptop. And this just goes on. And of course, it turns out the woman actually spent years in China, and then she tries to persuade Hunter to see how evil China is for, they're right about China, except the way it's portrayed is just so heavy-handed. Oh, and then her dad's an attorney. So the setup is, hey, Hunter, my dad's a lawyer. So just tell me all the things that you did, and I'll help you. I'll help you understand how to deal with investigators. I mean, it's just silly. And all of it really is just, to try to get this stuff out there, which if you're going to do that, fine. But what's the point of trying to wrap it into an entertaining movie? It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. And I hate it because, all the media critics are going to say this movie is a pile of right-wing propaganda. And all the right-wing media sites are going to say, obviously the censors are going to say this and that. Like, it's not black and white, folks. There's a lot of important underlying material worth knowing, but how is this movie going to get it out to people? I don't see how. Anyone that's looking at that watches the movie and be like, this movie sucks. It's not a good movie. And if you try to sit down some kind of hardcore liberal, they're going to look at the first 5 minutes where they have this whole weird thing where, okay, so the prostitute's like, oh, it's weird. Everything I see about Joe Biden is positive in the media. And like, yeah, okay, but you have to flesh out all these points. It just doesn't make sense. It's sad. The ending, there's a stupid, the ending, I guess I'm spoiling it, but who cares? There's no plot to it. The ending is the woman fantasizes about justice being done, and then she wakes up and it's like, oh no, that's not what's happening. And again, the best thing in this movie is the real life footage they play in the credits. The best thing about this movie is the real life footage in the credits, and that just blows. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to rain on everyone's parade. I downloaded that movie, paid for it, hoping to see something great, and I'm just like, God. I mean, this is like, I get it. It's hard to be in Hollywood as a conservative and not to have the ability to tap into the talent and resources that have been taken over by the radical left. But that's just another hurdle that we all have to overcome. There's no excuse for putting out a bad movie. There just isn't. Is there anything else I want to cover? I'm just kind of glancing over my notes here. I think I covered pretty much all of it. I mean, there's a point in the movie, early in the movie actually. Again, every single thing a cheesy bad movie does, this movie does. There's a point in the early part of the movie where Hunter snorts a line of coke, and then they put a cartoon picture of a heart on the screen, and they have a title card that's like pointing at it that says, "This is Hunter Biden's heart right now," and the heart goes like implausibly fast, bump, 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 bump. And then Hunter smokes some meth, and then the heart calms down again, because that's how meth works, right? No. Anyway, I mean, and it's just silly. I mean, the movie has a few moments here and there where they use Hunter or Joe Biden's various campaign gaffes in a humorous way, and that's all well and good. If they'd done that for the whole movie, the movie could have been a funny satire pick, or the movie could have been a dramatic, serious pick. They tried to do both. They ended up with neither. And at the end of the day, a movie has to be good. If you're going to make a movie, it has to be something that's entertaining, and this movie just wasn't that. So that's all I got, folks. I want to do more of these short videos, just commenting on a little topic here and there, and that's all I want to talk about tonight, because I saw this movie and was like, oh, geez. Especially because I paid $21 for it. I wanted to like it. I really did. There was nothing to like about it. It was an attempt to try to put some kind of Hollywood veneer into making the story interesting, and it just completely fell flat. And that's just the way it is, and that doesn't obviously diminish from the facts about Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. It's just what it is. So I just have to be honest. So there you go. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And I see there's a guy, James A. Martinez. I have not heard of you, James. I'll check your channel out. He says he's going to follow me. I don't know if he's a conservative that's interested in my perspective or a liberal that wants to make fun of me, but either way, whatever it is, thanks for the chats. Zoe Lee says, looks like they are playing we're multi-streaming. We're on Facebook as well. So if you don't see the chat, Zoe Lee on Facebook says, looks like they are playing to the Q crowd. They love this garbage. I mean, maybe, but why? What's there to like about this? I guess I get it. People are going to say, oh, well, we're taking back Hollywood, but you're not going to take back Hollywood with mediocrity. That's just all there is. That's just all there is to it. So I wish it was better. I've heard there's a really good documentary Larry Elder made about the civil rights movement. I may check that one out next. Hopefully it's better. I actually heard a clip of it, a brief clip on Tucker last night, the one before last, and I heard Jesse Lee Peterson's voice on it. So that piqued my curiosity. Maybe that one will be better, I guess. But yeah, folks, look, we are all struggling to try to save our country, and it's never pleasant to shit on someone's hard work. And this movie did cost millions of dollars to make. And I certainly wish everybody who was involved best of luck in their future endeavors. But I have to be honest about what that movie was, and it was hard to watch, unpleasant, aggravating almost. I wanted to turn it off, but I had to stick through it. And that's not the kind of movie that is going to be impressive to your friends. So if you're thinking you're going to have a party and we're going to all watch this movie, I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it. There's better movies. Watch Network. 1976. Amazing movie. To this day, still brilliant. Faye Dunaway and William Holden, and gosh, so many people. I'm trying to remember them all. So many great monologues. Such a great commentary on society. If this movie was that kind of movie, it could have been amazing. But it was the exact opposite. It was heavy-handed, ham-fisted. I'm trying to think of other words for what it was. It was preaching to the choir, and in a very campy, corny way that just fell flat. I mean, I will say, I did like, I forget his name, the guy who played Hunter Biden was okay, but he was dealing with a bad script, the plot, it was just dull. And also, by the way, not the least bit family friendly, which I guess is fine because, we're talking about Hunter Biden. There should be lots of drugs and sex and hookers and crime in it, but all the same, it just makes it that much less accessible. And if they're going to go that far, I don't know if the movie's even rated by the MPA. I don't know why they didn't just go balls to the wall. And that's the other thing about it too, is at the end of the day, it's even a whitewash. Hunter did worse than what they show in this movie. So did Joe Biden. It didn't even sensationalize what they were doing. If anything, it downplayed it. So yeah, James Martinez says it was an all right 2 out of 10. To me, 2 out of 10 is not all right. This was kind of embarrassing. So sorry to report this. We will have more live streams on things I think more immediately relevant in Michigan. A lot to talk about the elections for governor, attorney general, secretary of state. A lot of time-sensitive things to talk about with grassroots leadership. And so stay tuned for that, folks. But I just want to get this off my chest without distracting from future programming. So there you go. As always, thanks again for all you guys do for liberty. And until next time, peace out.